Hi YouTube, this is Evie. Welcome back to my channel, and today I have a very interesting requested topic for you all. I'm going to be talking about water sports, which honestly part of me can't believe that you guys really want to hear about water sports this much. Like, I've never had a video requested this much before, but I'm going to do it. We're going to learn together. It's going to be a fun time. I have only been doing water sports related play for a couple of months, so I did have to do some research and kind of refresh my memory about the variety of water sports. But before I get into all of that, first let us define water sports. Water sports is sort of an umbrella term for an entire category of all sorts of play that involves urine. This could be your own urine, this could be your partner's urine, this could be any kind of urine really, and it can be given and received in any number of ways. It can be part of BDSM, it can also be completely separate from BDSM. And that is an important thing to know. This does exist outside of BDSM, so if you're really into water sports, but you're not into other kinds of kink, you're not into bondage, dominance, any kind of power exchange, you can totally still do this all on its own. You can mix and match this with any kind of BDSM that you like, be that pet play, be that shibari, rope bondage, be that, service submission, anything that water sports really lend itself well to not only stand on its own, but to be incorporated in other kinds of scenes. But something that I want to address before I get too far into this video is the safety aspect of it. Water sports, urine in general, any kind of bodily fluid is still very much a taboo, and it's seen as unclean, it's seen as dirty. A lot of people have apprehension about this because they think that it's unsafe. I did explain in the comments of one of my videos to somebody after I gotten so many requests for water sports to do a blood play video. And I'm kind of okay with talking about that, but urine is actually far less risky than blood play. You do have to worry about HIV and hepatitis B being in somebody's urine, as well as trace amounts of any bacteria if they've been sick recently. Even if you're drinking the urine, you really don't have to worry about it being transmitted because it's not in significant enough volumes to cause it to be transmitted. However, you should still stay safe. Make sure your partners are tested. Make sure you haven't been sick recently. If you're peeing on somebody else, make sure you're not peeing on an open wound or a fresh piercing or something that can get infected. Make sure you clean before and afterwards. If you are doing this on any kind of upholstered fabric, if you're doing it on a bed, on a couch, on a chair, make sure you're putting down tarps. The safest and cleanest way to clean up a scene like this is to do it in a shower, in a bathtub, or over a toilet, something like that. So that way you don't have to worry about any kind of mess or worry about your furniture getting stained. So again, really, you don't have to worry about transferring disease via this method because your body has already processed it through the kidneys, through the rest of your body. So usually if there's anything, it's going to be really small trace amounts. But again, stay on the safe side with that if you can. So important. The main thing a lot of people worry about besides safety, maybe in conjunction with safety, is the smell or the just general feeling, sensation of the pee itself. There are a lot of ways you can mitigate it and make it better. Make sure you drink lots of water. If you don't drink lots of water, one, you're probably going to have trouble going through with something like water sports because you need water in order for your body to process and make urine. Make sure if you're going to drink something, make sure it is water. Tea and coffee can affect the taste and the smell, particularly coffee. It depends on the kind of tea. Make sure that you aren't having anything high in protein like chicken, tofu, beef that can make your urine more pungent. Things like asparagus and broccoli, leafy greens should probably be avoided immediately before the scene because, again, all of those kinds of vegetables, the way that they are processed through your body can make your urine smell more potent and taste more potent. So keep that in mind. If that is not a concern to you, just focus on drinking plenty of water. But if you are preparing for a scene like this, maybe regulate your diet around it. If you guys have heard all the things about how to make your cum taste better, whether that be as a male or a female, pretty much all of those same rules apply because it's processed through your body in a very similar way. So, drinking lots of water, pineapple juice, stuff like that will really help with the taste, the smell, if that's something that you're worried about. Now, as I just mentioned, there are a ton of ways to do water sports, and that includes both inside BDSM and outside BDSM. You can do it so many different ways. So, Something that's common with ABDL is to self-wet, be that with a diaper or just with a pair of underwear, is to wet yourself and have that be your kink. Some people get off on just the sensation of needing to pee and being in a public place and kind of having that public humiliation aspect of it, of not being allowed to pee or really needing to pee but not being able to because you aren't able to access a restroom. You could do it as part of pet play where you are being potty trained and you either have to pee outside or pee in a litter box. You could have it be as part of a bondage scene where you are completely restricted and helpless and you are peed on while being chained up and restrained. You could have it be where you pee on your partner. Usually this is done separately, but it can be part of a power exchange dynamic as well, and I will get more into that later when I talk about my personal experiences with this. You can pee on your partner. I would usually recommend doing this in the shower because this tends to be one of the messier methods in terms of cleanup. You can watch other people pee. You could use pee as a factor in humiliation in like a medical play scene, like collecting a urine sample. There's just so many ways that you can do this. It's amazing, and you can do it with as many people as you want. Like, you can have 5 people together and have a big old pee orgy. It's a thing. It happens. I have heard about it on the internet, guys. That's how I know. So, it is something that does happen, and there are so many ways to do it and many ways to make it fit into your lifestyle. If you are interested in getting into water sports and either you or your partner or both of you haven't done it before, if you're unsure about it, if you're not sure that something's going to be like kinky and hot for you, I would definitely recommend taking things slowly, as I usually do, going at your own pace. So what I have read and what I have experienced as a good way to sort of work up to doing water sports is first, talk about it. Always talk about it. Talk about what you don't want to do. Talk about what you do want to do. Talk about why it's interesting to you, what appeals to you about it. Share videos, share photos, share ideas, write, do whatever you have to do to communicate with your partner. This is something you're interested in, why it's interesting to you, what eventually is your goal with water sports, and why you might want to do it. Once you've done that, I would recommend actually going in the shower, and when you are alone, assumably, and this is not like a communal college shower, like if you are sharing a shower with somebody else, be courteous, and if you do this, clean up afterwards using your normal like bathroom cleaning method, but pee in the shower by yourself. Just do it, see what it feels like, because we've been trained as we become adults to only pee using a toilet, only pee in that exact location. So there's going to be a lot of like physical boundaries around peeing anywhere outside of that. Now, there are people who camp a lot and are very comfortable peeing outside, but just peeing in your shower is going to be such a different experience, and it's going to be the most common place that you are going to do a water sports related scene in. So try it out, see how that works for you. I'd recommend doing this even if you're not actually going to be the one who's peeing, because it gives you an idea of the kind of release and freedom that's going to be experienced during this type of scene. Then I'd recommend being together in the shower, and when they pee, catch it and like hold their pee and feel what that feels like. It won't necessarily be part of a larger scene, and it won't necessarily be part of a power exchange, but sort of being like, that's some pee. Now I know what that's like. This is weird to talk about, but that's just how it goes. And then once you have done all of that, it is finally time to move on and actually have your partner properly pee on you, or move on to whatever your next stage is, be that doing like self-wetting in a diaper, be that the medical play aspect, be that the pet play aspect, but have your partner pee on you and experience that. Like, what I would recommend doing is like put down a tarp and lay in your stomach and have your partner pee on you, because that's going to be the easiest way and the least complicated way, physiologically speaking, to have another person pee on you and then like be able to quickly clean it up afterwards. And then you can go ahead and explore all of the other kinds of water sports, and then you can incorporate it into your BDSM scenes. For me personally, when I do water sports, it is strictly as a power exchange thing. Like, this is something that is sort of connected to the more like primal aspects of my play, the sort of more primal aspects of myself as a person. But having my partner pee on me is like a form of marking. Like, It's sort of like, you know how if you really like it when your partner like bites on your neck too hard and they leave a hickey, or when they carve something nice in your back with a scalpel, or they leave you lots of really nice bruises on your ass, you know, to remember for the rest of the week. For me, water sports kind of feeds into that same energy of being marked by my partner and being owned and knowing my place in that power dynamic. What we normally do is when I'm at his house on the weekends, and this doesn't happen every weekend. It doesn't happen every day that I'm there necessarily. Of course, it depends on the mood and what we're up to. I will be unchained from the bed when he wakes up in the morning, and sometimes I'm not ready to wake up, but that is my lot in life as a submissive, is to wake up even when I'm not ready. And he'll take me into the shower, and he'll force me to sit down. I normally sit on all fours, and then he'll pee on my chest, or he'll pee on my stomach, or he'll poo somewhere else. I've never experienced actual like drinking of pee, or like getting like pee in my mouth, because that is kind of where I draw the line with this, but some people are okay with it, and maybe one day I will as well. That is basically what I do. It's normally very like quick and intimate scene kind of in the morning, and it really helps us sort of establish our power dynamic going forward for the rest of the day. Like when I've done that, usually I shower and I clean off and everything, and then I go downstairs and I finish doing all my other little submissive tasks, like making coffee, making breakfast, unloading the dishwasher, doing all that stuff. So it really kind of just helps set the tone, and I think it's something that you can definitely use to sort of enhance the power dynamic. Use it as an element of humiliation, use it as an element of pet play. Like, it is a really good thing to add, I feel like, if you're feeling adventurous. And of course, if after listening to all of this and experimenting with it yourself, you don't think it's for you, that is totally okay as well. It is definitely a weird thing, and even within BDSM, it's really not that common. It's definitely a form of edge play. It is, along with things like blood play, needle play, etc., something that a lot of people are just like, no, will not do, will not touch, and that's perfectly understandable. If it turns out that your partner, even after talking with them about it and kind of going through with some of the steps of the process that I mentioned, it's just like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. This is too weird to me. That's fine. Revisit it later if that seems like it's something that they could be open to, or maybe find somebody else that you can play with who is interested in water sports. I highly recommend checking out some of the links down below in the description if you want to learn more about water sports and everything that goes along with that. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave any questions, comments, or concerns down in the comments below. If you guys want to find links to my social media, related videos, my Patreon, all that stuff, it is also in the description box. And until I see you next time, have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.